Hey guys, Kevin here, doing a walkthrough of this 2020 Phaeton 40QKH. It's a consignment, just got it in stock, it's immaculate. I normally, when I go through these videos, my goal is to point out the good, the bad, and the ugly, whatever there is, so there's no mystery. There's not a lot to point out, at least the thing I've found so far, but I will take a deeper dive with you throughout this video, looking at every compartment, drawer, etc. I'm going to do this in two parts, exterior and interior. Try not to take too long, but be thorough because it takes a long time to get these videos uploaded. So I've got everything opened up to help out. It's a 10,000 kilowatt generator because it's got 3 roof airs, and there's only 77.9 hours on it so far. 77.9 hours. This coach is pre-COVID production. It's 2020, but it's produced either early 20 or late 19. And if you're not totally familiar with the Phaetons, they literally take this material. It's like a super thick aluminum, not aluminum, but like a padding, and it's on every single surface that doesn't have a window. So it's on the roof, flooring, every wall, and it really helps to keep the insulation of the coach and keep it at its best. So let's keep a walk around. They make their own doors, Tiffin does, so these are all made and welded in-house. Great design as far as how everything's done. And then they do a really cool thing with this screen here. They make it removable so that when you just set that aside, and then when you're driving down the road, you're looking through glass, not a screened glass. So it's a little bit better for your view. A lot of these windows in 2020, it's not the case anymore, but they were actually made by Tiffin. Tiffin had its own window company. It was a marine window company that they purchased decades ago, which became, from what I understand, one of the largest, or the largest, at least for some point, marine window company in the world. And they kind of just bought that, from what I understood, as a means to an end. So they'd have access to windows and another piece of the company or their business that could grow and also be something different, but they also use it to put windows, to make windows for their premium motorhome. So only their Phaeton, the bus, things like that, the Zephyr, you'll see these stamps where the window will actually say Tiffin. Now there's only 2 other companies that produce windows, from what I know, in the RV industry. So it's pretty unique to have that. And they don't, fortunately, they sold that company, I believe, a couple of years ago. But 2020 is going to have it, and I think that's a good thing. So let's keep looking here. We've got, of course, the awning over the door, and then your other Girard awning here, and then Girard slide toppers throughout. Their doors are incredibly strong if you're not totally familiar with these things. And they call them 40% doors now. That's what I heard from a factory rep anyway, because they'll close. If you get them 40% of the way, they'll do the rest of the work for you. Down below this first compartment, we have our hydraulic system. All looks very good, clean. I don't see any leaks, which is always a good thing. A little bit of storage there. That's the ladder to get into the bunks. Place to do some plugins down there. I love this here. They had some weird material a couple years back of this one that was kind of hard to keep clean, and now they've gone to this really great, almost like what a truck bed liner might be made of, and that makes this really easy to take care of inside and keep it clean. So you got 2 slide trays. These will go forward, back, either way, all the way through. Undercarriage, again, there's more of that material. Everything looks good. Next compartment. This is the bedding. I left it in there. They just had, I think, their own bedding on there when they used it, so this was never used. And there's all the pillows and comforter that came with the motorhome. Next compartment, we see the part of the aqua hot system from this side. There's the hoses and stuff for the central vacuum system. There's the vacuum bags go, some random stuff. They even have their touch-up paint still. And this also has this kind of liner here. Really makes it easy to take care of. Here's where the water area is, so you have a place to fill with your hose. We actually give you an attachment that fits in there, and then you can also drain from here. Access to your sensors is really easy if you ever need to replace any of these sensors. Really easy to get to all that stuff. Let's keep going. You got your chassis batteries, and these are original, so they might be replaced. They definitely get checked. Everything here gets checked. The first thing that happens when we get a coach, whether it's consignment for trade-in, etc., whether we purchase it, and of course when we take consignments, we don't just take anything. We got to get the best. We only consign the best and the cleanest motorhomes, because we're going to be putting all the money into it once it sells, not the person that had it previously. But what happens is once this thing comes in for consignment, we have it go through a chassis safety inspection to see if it's going to pass all of our scrutiny, which this obviously does. First sight, we could tell this was a great coach. And the chassis safety is done by a third party down the street that can does gas and diesel. They can handle everything, and they can also smog. The units that need California smog checks done, this one does not need that at this point. Or maybe actually it does. I think they are starting to do some kind of emissions testing on diesels in California. It's a newer thing, but I believe the customer told me he had just had it done on this one before we got it. Anyway, so it goes through all this kind of having another company look at it. It's also cheaper for us to do it that way, which is really the reason we do it, and we don't have the ability to do smogs in-house. But it's good to have a third set of eyes. And then when it finally sells, then it goes through our service department, which we're basically a customer of service, and we pay the hourly rate just like customers do. And their job is to go through and try to find stuff to fix and go through every system. Everything is checked. And then when we set an appointment for people to come pick up the unit, they're also going to go through it again with an orientation technician that's going to also show them everything's working and how to use everything, etc. So in a nutshell, that's the system. Let's keep looking. Here we have the rear slide controllers. If you ever have an issue with your slides, simple instructions on how to reset, or you can also unplug the connections and push the slide in by hand. Kind of handy. But the front two slides are hydraulic, so the rear two are electronic. Some electrical stuff here, place to plug in if you have a cold climate. This is how you preheat your engine. Keep coming around. Tiffin makes their own fiberglass. All this is made in-house by Tiffin. It's got your rock guard there. Looks like you never took the sticker off the rock guard, so that'll be a very fresh rock guard for whoever owns the coach. I can see that back compartment. This is kind of an access panel to the engine and a little bit of storage here. This is your electronic cord here for to plug in your 50 amp service. Tiffin gives you a surge protector, and then lighting. There's lighting in every compartment as well. There's your DEF, diesel exhaust fluid. Keep going. I only opened the slides up kind of halfway to get through here. It was a little tight. This is also an electric water hose reel. I love that they got this all digital now. You got some place to plug in. Tank flush system, which is awesome. It's like a sprinkler system inside of your black tank. This maneuvers whatever direction you want it to be. There's an access to go straight down, or if you want to have it come another way. There's a dump for your fresh water, looks like over here. Easy access to your water pump, coach filtration, hot water, and cold water shower. Access to your refrigerator is here. If you want to unplug it, turn off the ice, things like that. And then you've got another access here to your aqua hot system and some of the filters that go with that. Other side of your slide trays, and full on and off for the coach and the inverter, as well as the Giboni. That box right there is for the solar panels. It's the solar controller center. We've got brand new batteries I noticed over here, at least newer. These batteries were produced in January 2022. They are 6 volts. They'll also be checked, make sure they're charging properly. If we find any of the batteries, and I would suspect that the chassis batteries would probably be replaced unless they're just absolutely blowing us away as far as how well they're operating after almost 4 years. So that's how we operate. We're going to make sure everything's smooth for the next owner. Let's keep going here. These windows have a awning that you can pull out. You just grab on them. You see it there, but you grab that tab and you attach it here, so you get some nice shade in your coach. You also have a rear light that comes on over here if you like it to be. And then here you got your front fuse panel, a place to open up the generator. You've got an air point here to fill your tires. It comes with the hoses. And they do a great job of covering this. They laser cut all of these things, including everything that's in their dump station. All those things are all laser cut at Tiffin and custom made for this coach. So we've gone through. There's also dual fill for your fuel, in case you don't already know that. But the coach does not have any issues. I can't find a single scratch on the paint. It looks fantastic. Any questions about this, let me know. I've got about 10.5 minutes on this so far. I'm gonna start doing part 2, which is the inside. And I'll see you in a second.